We weren't supposed to be here today, but we are. So let's get at it.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What is going on, everybody? It's lunchtime with the Clydesdale. We are back for another week. I was supposed to be having a biopsy today on my lung, but because of the 15 inches of snow, that got called off. And now we get to hang out with you guys today at lunch, and I got to go into work today. What's awesome is something that I never thought would happen is the governor actually said, hey, everybody work from home. I know I get to work from home every day, but a lot of my coworkers do not. And so the fact that he allowed as many people as possible to work from home and not have to drive in this mess that's out there right now was really cool. So we're all kind of working from home today and trying to get stuff done. The biopsy for me is rescheduled most likely 2 weeks from today. I still have the sinus surgery this week on Thursday, and then I'll probably recover over the weekend, and then I get all of the bandages kind of pulled out on Monday, and then hopefully we can be back Monday doing shows again. So probably no show Thursday, Friday, and Monday the next few days. And then the Sunday night show, trying to figure out something there. Because the next 2 Sundays, I still have my nose pacted for this Sunday. And then the Super Bowl is the next Sunday. So we're trying to figure out like how to schedule this, maybe do one show in between the 2 Sundays. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. Thank goodness we're not like the open hasn't started yet, and we have some flexibility there. So, Corey says no frozen biopsy for Scott. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I just was worried about my wife dealing with the traffic and the snow and all that kind of stuff, and because I won't be allowed to drive after the biopsy. And the place we go is like an hour and 15 minutes away to have this done. And so I was really worried for her having to drive on all this stuff. So it's kind of good that we got postponed and hopefully better weather in 2 weeks to make this happen. But I need to have this stuff diagnosed so that we can start treatment and get back at it. I mean, I signed up for the open and I want to be able to do it as much as possible. So that's my goal. That's my goal. Get through all that stuff and at least be able to do the open. So what's going on with you guys, man? I know a lot of the country was got weather that they did not expect. I hope everybody is digging out from that. Yeah. I want to thank my sponsor, Thirdsy. Make sure you go to thirdsy.com/jazzy. If you want the best recovery tool and sleep aid in the business, no melatonin, good grass-fed collagen, helps you recover, helps you sleep. Yeah, good stuff. Code Jazzy at checkout. So super, super stoked about that. Go use them. Use that code and get 15% off your order. Keeping it real. Hopefully Mike McCarthy is digging out and unsuccessful. All right. I want to talk about this because I've been talking to Grant through DMs. Let's just talk about it right here and now. I think Steeler fans are spoiled. Steeler fans don't realize when they have a good thing. Is Mike McCarthy the flashy big hire that the Steelers wanted? No. But is he consistent? Does he win? Yes. Is he a good offensive mind? Yes. Is that something the Steelers have ever had? No. He's the coach that beat them in the last Super Bowl. And yet you're saying that he's not good enough when he beat you the last time you were in the Super Bowl. So I find it weird because he took a young Dak Prescott and he developed him. He took a young Aaron Rodgers and developed him. Those are two really good quarterbacks. And the Steelers have not had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. So you spoiled Steeler fans. Suck it up. This guy's actually pretty good, and he's probably the right hire for right now. The days of hiring coaches for 20 years were the past. They're not now. You just have to be patient, and Steeler fans are not. They want to win now, but you have not won a Super Bowl in a very, very long time. And so you got to do it. You got to do it. Work from home. Kate Curry is WF work from home today as well. Gyms were closed, so zone 2 biking and rowing at home this morning. Yeah, I think most of the gyms were closed here. I think we might have still been under a level 3 snow emergency this morning, which you get arrested if you're on the road. Vicky, it's okay that you're late. We don't care. Come whenever you can. We don't make you do a burpee penalty or anything like that. Corey says to Kate, it was cold and windy enough for me to skip my morning session of rowing intervals. Corey, what? Kenneth DeLapp, arrested, yes. When it's a level 3 snow emergency in Ohio, you are not allowed to be on the road. From what I saw in the news last night, they made it a level 2, which means you were discouraged from being on the road, but people were getting in the way of the plows being able to get jobs done. So they made it a level 3, so everybody had to be off the roads. And the reason they do that is so plows can fly through, get stuff done, get the roads cleared. But you are not allowed to be on the road unless you are an essential employee of a business. And like, I used to be one for the state. And so they gave me a card, and if I would get pulled over on a level 3, it says I have permission to be on the roads to get to work because I'm an essential employee. And so like hospital workers get that, stuff like that. So it is, yeah, they're very strict here in Ohio. When you get like 15 inches of snow like we did yesterday, you just can't have people blocking stuff from getting done. Jonathan said F to the gym at 6 a.m. Yeah, I would add, there's no way I could have got out. They did not plow our roads at all. The only way I could get out now is because a garbage truck came at about 9 to pick up garbage and pack down some of the snow. So I could have done that. Corey said, no heat in the gym. I would have been dragging ass just trying to get warm. We'll make it up later this week. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. Sometimes stuff happens. Like you just have to deal with it, right? Corey, I feel you. I have 2 space heaters running in my garage right now, so I can get my workout in this afternoon. Yeah. I actually, Vicky, bought a propane heater. You just kind of like the propane tank you get for your grill. You plug it onto there, and it has like a bracket to hold it in place. But man, that thing gets hot. My garage heats up in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And you can get probably a couple hours out of a tank. It's pretty sweet. Now, like tomorrow, most of this week, we're going to be in the negative temperatures. Probably not going to cut much of that. But if it's like 20, 25, something like that, and you have this propane heater, it heats my garage up to where I'm sweating. It looks like a big glowing orange eye, just a round heating element that the propane goes through, and it's pretty awesome. My wife got it for me for my birthday one year. It is a game changer in the garage. Game changer completely. Mark Phillips says, how are the fumes on that? So what I do, Mark, is I open my garage a little bit, maybe like 4 to 5 inches on the bottom. That's where I put the propane tank, and it blows into the garage. So it kind of fumes out there. Plus, I don't have a finished ceiling in my garage. So the fumes will go out through the eaves anyway. So I'm pretty safe in that regard. Does it clip onto a 20-ounce bottle? I do not believe so. A 20-pound bottle. I don't know what a 20-pound bottle is, Jay Birch. Yeah, it's like the normal size propane tank that you put on a grill. Kenneth says, keep your rowers in the house like Prevo. There you go. Yeah. Sometimes I bring my assault bike down into the podcast area. I put it right over there, and I'll do that. Normal propane bottle. Yeah. Just clips on, where the top is, where you cut the handle to carry it. There's a bracket that goes through the holes there to keep it steady. And then it just screws on to the valve. And yeah, it's great. Corey doesn't own a rower. Kate says, that's where mine are. Bike erg is basically in my dining room. Rower is in my living room. That is dedication, Kate. Big time dedication. So fun stuff. So all the stuff, you masters athletes that are really getting after it. That's awesome that you're trying to work out in this weather. But what kind of momentum do you think we're getting for the Open? It's the numbers are out there that this is a pretty good year since 2022. We're heading in the right direction. We talked last night about a lot of people giving away Open registrations. Vicky has been giving away some. Larry Young gave away like a shit ton of registrations, all of that stuff. I think there's like really a push from the community to get the stuff out there as much as possible. And I think we have this group of athletes that are really trying to get people to sign up for the Open. And I saw this cool little reel today. I just wanted to share with you. I thought it was funny. And it's the old pass the phone trend, if you didn't see it. And so here is the Boys Interrupted and the pass the phone trend.
I'm passing the phone to someone that has the biggest hype in all the CrossFit Games media, but has never done a single thing to back it up since the teenage division.
All right, I'm passing the phone to someone who built their legacy 4 years ago and hasn't done anything since.
All right, I'm passing the phone to someone that has a bigger ego than the Czech he won at the CrossFit Games.
I'm passing the phone to somebody who does grace better without clothes on.
Dang, that was brutal.
We're passing the phone to somebody who everybody wanted fired, but is somehow still here.
Hi, I'm Dave Castro, director of the CrossFit Games.
So I thought that was pretty cool, especially that they got Dave to participate. They're doing so much with CrossFit right now, promoting it, getting the word out there. I think it's a really cool video. And the fact that Dave participated with the whole, hey, we're passing the phone to someone who everybody wanted fired, but is still here, was pretty savage at the end, as Jody said. So really, really funny stuff. What these guys are doing with CrossFit right now to come to the ranch to do the workouts this weekend with the throwdown being open to do anything in the moment. And then the fact that Matt Souza and the Sevon podcast came out there with their equipment to be able to live stream it was a huge win for the CrossFit community and the open. And as much as that's a win, and as much as we need to do that, and as much as we need to reach back into the nostalgia of doing workouts at the ranch and workouts that we've seen before and workouts that we're connected to, we also need to reach out to people that haven't done this stuff before. And that's where the people like Vicky and Larry Young and Jonathan Ortega, who are buying these packages of open registrations and giving them to people to not have an excuse not to sign up. That is as important as what Dallin, James, Jason, and Justin are doing. Yeah, they're the big names, but they're big names inside the space. What Vicky and Larry and Jonathan are doing are reaching out to people who may have never done the open before and bringing in new people who have never done it. That is the stuff that's going to change things around. The more people do that, the better off we're going to be. I mean, Jenny gave away 3 bundles this morning that were the shirt, the judges course, and an open registration on her show. 3 of them. I mean, that's, what is it? I think it's like a $65 value that she gave away to 3 people on her show. Scott, is that a picture of you and TDC over your left shoulder on the far bottom? It is not. I have a couple pictures with Dave. That is not one of them. So, this is what was asked for, involvement of the athletes. Yeah, I think the athlete involvement is awesome. I think it is awesome. But what they're doing, is good inside the bubble of who we are. The you all that come into these CrossFit chats, you all that watch all the podcasts, you all that watch the streams. But I'm not sure any of these athletes are getting outside that bubble. Now, Jason just did a podcast with Cam Haynes, just came out a few hours ago. That's a start in that direction. And if he promotes the open, promotes the game season, promotes all that stuff, then that is a step outside the bubble. However, all the stuff done at the ranch, those are the people that watch it anyway. I want to give kudos to the people that are reaching out beyond that bubble. The Vickies, the Larry Youngs, the Jonathan Ortegas, the people that are buying these packages and doing that. That is what is really, really cool. It's not Carolyn either. If I say who it is, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah, Mark, I know. Below what looks like the Breaking Bad Lego RV. That is the Breaking Bad Lego RV. And I know it's the picture. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that right there. So it's Tommy Marquez. I worked with Tommy at Morning Chalk Up. It's back when we were doing stuff back then. I always had good experiences with Tommy. I know he's kind of turned his back on CrossFit in the past couple of years. So that's why I didn't mention it. But that's who we worked together at Morning Chalk Up. There were only 2 people at Morning Chalk Up that supported me or even acknowledged that I was a person there. And it was him and it was Brian Friend. And both of them are on the outs with CrossFit right now. But they were the only 2 people that treated me like a human being at Morning Chalk Up. Rich and Jason worked with Cam, definitely reaches outside the bubble, just maybe not in open participation. Yes, Rich and Jason both worked with Cam, but after they retired. And so it doesn't have the same effect as the CrossFit Games champion working with Cam. And so that's where it's different. Jason going on with Cam as the current and reigning CrossFit Games champion is really, really cool. Where Rich and Jason did it in their retirement. So they weren't actively participating in everything. So it doesn't have the same effect. But Jason is the current champ, and he goes and he does all the stuff with Cam, all the stuff. And I can't wait to watch it. I hope that he really does use that as a platform to push CrossFit forward. That's the problem. You get someone like Matt Frazier on Joe Rogan, where he's on this big audience, and he does nothing to pay back the thing that got him the success he had. So Joseph says, clearly that's the National Lampoon's RV. It is not. It is the Breaking Bad mobile meth lab. They should pay it forward by someone on the fence at their gym or registration. Yeah, so many people are doing that this year. So many people. And I've mentioned just 3 of them that I know of in this chat. And I'm going to get a link, and I'm going to buy some open registrations, and I'm going to give them away on this show. If you are not doing the open, and the reason why is because you don't want to pay for it, we're going to do something on this show to do that as well. I want to pay it forward just like everybody else did. Jody says, that's great. I've got you on my big screen TV, so I'm checking out all your stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff back there. A lot of stuff back there, Jody. Jake says, do you think they do the thing that made them, famous? I don't understand the question. I'm willing to answer. I just don't really know what you're getting at, Jake. Who wants to be on the 5 a.m. Squat Club custom leaderboard? Yeah, we've got one for this show too. Hashtag Clydesdale out there if you want to be on that. You can do multiple. Just saying. So I think we're going in the right direction with the open. I think we're getting some push. I think people were signing up earlier, but you still have all of the people that are going to wait until that final weekend to sign up. I hope it goes up. It would be a great sign for CrossFit as a whole for the open registrations to go up. Whether it be by 20 or whether it be by 200,000. We just have to get the trend away from going down and on the trajectory of going back up. And by introducing people to the open, by paying for their registration and getting them to sign up, that is a way for people to experience the stuff that we have loved for 10 years. I mean, this is my 13th CrossFit Open. If I wouldn't have skipped 2024, it would have been my 14th. So I don't think the likes of Matt and Jason owe affiliates anything because they didn't represent the affiliates. They're athletes who train alone. I see what you're saying, Jake. I see what you're saying, especially with Matt. But I think Jason did start out at an affiliate. I think he started out at Crash. And then as he got better, then he started training alone. But he still hangs out at Crash. He still does things there. And at least that's more of, and with Dallin going back to Utah and him training at Cross, the Brute people have been connected to an affiliate. The people that have worked out with Torres have worked out in an affiliate. They did it in Jacksonville. They did it at CrossFit Naples. Now Dallin's doing it at CrossFit Nebo. James is doing it at Mode CrossFit in I think Utah as well. So some of these guys are actually connected to affiliates. Yeah, they may work out alone. Yeah, they may do some stuff alone, but at least they're connected to an affiliate and they work out at that affiliate. And James talks about like guys that he works out with from that affiliate. So RX for Time, my 13th Open too. Yeah. There's a lot of people at that 13. Carolyn Prevost, this is her 13th. That's why I wish I wouldn't have skipped 2024. 14 just sounds so cool. Compare Lucy Campbell and Sprague to Frazier and Hopper. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Jake. I get it. Lucy coaches, James coaches. James got his L2. Lucy is getting educated on everything, but not everybody's going to do it that way, and that's fine. At least Jason is connected to CrossFit Crash. It is a CrossFit affiliate. He is affiliated with them. He works out there a good chunk of his time. I think that's a good thing. Frazier, I get it. He was not connected to an affiliate. He did his own thing. There was that brief time at Mayhem, but did he really work out at Mayhem? Probably not. I get what you're saying. But I think it's all by degree, just like CrossFit itself. It's all by degree. There have been a lot of CrossFitters that do not work out at an affiliate at all. And I think that those athletes are missing out on something. Jake says it's not a criticism. I know, it's just a discussion point. And I'm just trying to understand where you're at. And I get it. Like Lucy Campbell and James Sprague are like drinking the Kool-Aid. I think Dallin Pepper is on the verge of drinking all the Kool-Aid all the way to coaching. I would not be surprised that Dallin becomes a coach at some point. I think that group, that like Lucy, James, and Dallin are like all in. But I think Jason's more connected than Justin. Justin works out in his own gym all the time. Now, it is affiliated. His garage gym is affiliated, but is it truly an affiliate? Like, people from the outside can't sign up. They can't come. And so, like, I don't think Justin gets the benefit of the affiliate community. I'd like to see more female coaches at the top. I think I don't disagree with you. I would like to see a bigger push toward that for sure. But like Ariel Lowen's opening an affiliate, she's going to be coaching. So I think there is like a transition back into kind of that old school thing. But we'll see. We'll see where we go. John George says Sharpie. Wrong show, but I love the idea. John George is in for his 13th as well. That's awesome. Man, all these double-digit CrossFit Open athletes, man, hasn't it been a fun ride? I just will never forget my first ever Open, 2013. The first workout was 75 burpees, 20 snatches, and then it kept going from there. Burpees, and then burpees to a target, snatches. And at that point, I'd never snatched 135, which was the second barbell. And I got to it and didn't get it in that Open. Vicky, if they aren't allowing for garage affiliation, how are these athletes affiliating their barns? They're paying the full price. It's not that they don't allow you to affiliate your garage. It's they don't have a discounted rate to affiliate your garage. So Justin is paying the full affiliate fee to affiliate the Shred Shed, or what I think is what it's called. John George, love it more today than 13 years ago. Yeah. It was so funny because me and my two buddies, none of us had snatched 135. And the night before we were going to do the Open, we had just moved. We just opened a new affiliate, and all the paperwork hadn't been through. So we had to videotape everything. So we had to kind of schedule our time to get it in. And we were going to do it Saturday morning to videotape it. And my buddies and I went into the gym Friday night and just were making attempt after attempt to get a 135 snatch that whole night. It was absolutely insane. And that was as much fun as doing the workout. Like coming together as my little crew trying to get a 135-pound snatch for the first time. And where we are today is so different than where we were then. Now like 135 snatches, I do that for reps in a workout. Like, but back then I could not hit one. And I was so tired going into that. Holy crap. Ed AI, everyone in chat, please like the stream. Yes, please like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. You know, like of all the people that listen to the show, only about 40% subscribe. Only 40%. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything to subscribe. Just hit that button. Jake, I trained today with a kid who was born when I did my first open 2013. That is nuts. That is nuts. Makes you feel really, really damn old. 2013 was a different time too, because you could not scale the open workout. There was one workout, you either did it or you tried. And yeah. And everything was kind of gated back then. Like the first piece of every workout was pretty doable, so you could at least get a score. And then things got rough. But the workouts themselves were tough at the time. Like my favorite workout ever was 2014, 14-3. And it was deadlifts and box jumps. And the deadlift at the beginning was super light, but it got real heavy real fast. And I love that workout. I love that workout. My favorite workout of any open workout ever. He destroyed me at Cindy. Yeah, those kids doing body weight stuff. Kids today have, if they are an active child, their body awareness is ridiculous. And doing body weight stuff is it's just easy for them. So yeah, good times, man. Good times in the open. Couple other things before we go. One more person accepted at Mayhem. So we have Chris Ibarra, who has accepted at Mayhem. I don't know what that puts their number at now. But they announced that today. You can see there, Chris Ibarra accepted his invite to Mayhem. So that's someone new today. So they're filling out their roster. Fun stuff there. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is, I'm a huge NFL fan. I'm a huge Chicago Bear fan. I've got my Iceman Caleb Williams shirt on today. This season's over for me, right? We have the Super Bowl and I'll watch that. But like I was watching 3 and 4 Bears podcasts a day and NFL news. And now I've got none of that to watch. And I don't know if there's enough CrossFit content to fill it. And now I've got to find something to fill my day. I let these podcasts run during my workday and I just listen and listen and listen. And now I've got to find a replacement. So if anybody has cool podcasts that they listen to during the day, and shoot them to me, because I'd really, really like to get some different stuff in. And I know that once the open hits, like the podcast, the CrossFit stuff is going to kick up a notch, and I'll have some of that to do. But yeah, I just need some stuff to listen to. Like this weekend, I watched more movies than I've watched forever because of the storm coming in and no NFL, no college football, no stuff like that. So I watched more movies this weekend than I have in forever. The Rams-Hawks game was good last night. It was. We were live on the air when that was going, so I had to kind of catch it after the fact. I really didn't care who won. I like both stories. The fact that Sam Darnold beat his ghosts and got to the Super Bowl was pretty freaking awesome. Ed AI, don't tell me you're a Pats guy. I am not a Pats guy. I was rooting for the Broncos yesterday, big time. I wanted Jared Stidham to be the guy that came off the bench and took the Broncos to the Super Bowl. And regardless of who made it to the Super Bowl from the AFC, the NFC was gonna win. Whether it was the Rams or the Seahawks, whoever won that game was winning the Super Bowl. And that's what's frustrating as a Bears fan, because the Bears had the Rams on the ropes and didn't close. But I'm not dwelling on it. I'm just happy we're moving in the right direction. All of that. But the Seahawks are going to kill the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They're going to destroy them. Drake May has been sacked 15 times in 3 games, and the Seahawks have a better pass rush than any of the teams they've played. It is going to be a bloodbath in the Super Bowl. Early prediction. I watched the 2018 and 2019 docs yesterday. I watched Frazier and Uncle Pat fall off the cargo net in quick succession. Yeah, still one of my favorite memes is the American sniper taking out Frazier and Uncle Pat on the cargo net. Ed AI is a Seattle guy. You're my new best friend. Glad to hear it, man. I mean, that defense is legit, and they are going to destroy. They're going to destroy the Pats. It's not even going to be close. Yeah. Corey, to be honest, like some of the docs, they just became very repetitive. And I don't remember at what point I stopped enjoying them as much. I really enjoy the behind the scenes way more than the documentaries themselves. The documentaries always pick 5 people at the beginning, and that's all you get through that documentary. The behind the scenes doesn't select anybody. I mean, Savon does a great job of just going up and talking to anybody 1 through 30, 1 through 40, and you never know who he's going to talk to next, and you learn stuff that you never knew before. So yeah, I really, it used to be that they were a nice tandem. They seem to like go hand in hand, where if you watch the documentary and the behind the scenes of the same period through the week, it was really, really cool. It lined up really well. And I really enjoyed that. And then I think there was a time where that kind of veered off, and the doc guys did their own thing, and the behind the scenes Savon did his own thing. And so it didn't have the tie together as well. And so, yeah, I used to love both. Like I would pay for both. I mean, I paid for the CrossFit membership to get all the journal stuff, including the behind the scenes. I paid for the videos when they came out on the documentary. Like, I legit love it all. But toward the last few years, man, the doc has not been anything new or different. I am curious about this one. Jenna has promised me that this documentary coming out from last year's games is very different than what's been done in the past. And so I'll take her at her word that it is. I just chatted with her a couple nights ago, and she really has promised me that this is going to be different, really different. Jody says, if I'm stuck for content, I go to Soft White Underbelly. Amazing human interest stories. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'm not a true crime guy. My wife listens to all of that stuff. I get enough of that just through osmosis. Corey says, I hope she's right. Could be a great thing for the community. I do. Like, all this stuff has to tie together. All of these efforts, if they like play off of one another and build off of one another, that's what the community needs. That's what CrossFit needs. They need to get this ball rolling so it becomes an avalanche again. The problem is, before, you'd have one person rolling the snowball, and then they would leave and another person would start another snowball, and the snowballs never came together as one big ball to come into an avalanche. That's what we need. We need it all to come into one big snowball. That is my sage advice. Stop making separate snowballs and make one big snowball. Hope that made sense. I don't know. It's Monday. Trying to get my energy up. Well, I'm going to head back to work, guys. You knuckleheads should do the same. I will see everybody next time on. Shanna says we need a snowball czar. There we go. There we go. Scott likes snowballs. Film at 11. Low Carb MD podcast. Dr. Tro has an excellent one. Okay. There's another one. Jody feeding me content. Shanna and Corey feeding me snowballs. That's what I want. Jay Birch, snowballs chance in hell. Come on, man. Come on. Ed AI, I wish I won the big 2 billion Powerball. You'd work for CrossFit HQ. I would take the job. New week in review out. Go watch. Yeah, I watch those every week, Mark. Every week. You have to know what Dave's saying. Although I've noticed since we have the CrossFit Games podcast or Sport of Fitness podcast, whatever the name of that thing is, that Dave's Week in Review is more personal, less CrossFit, which I kind of like, that you're moving the news to the official CrossFit channel and letting Dave just talk about his week and doing kind of the personal thing. I think that's better. And it was a slight little shift and change, but I think it's a good shift. And Dave appears on that Sport of Fitness podcast when it comes on too. So that's really good. We have our weatherman Jay Birch down in Texas saying that it's still cold for TFX, but the weather outlook is looking better. Yeah, that thing's outside. It was chilly, and there was none of what's going on right now when I last went to TFX, and the wind out there it whips. So if it's chilly at all, man, that wind takes the feels like temperature way down. Way down. All right, guys, I'm heading back to work. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Love you all. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we will see you tomorrow afternoon. Bye, guys.